Ho was eating cold rice when the alarm started screaming. He dropped his spoon and ran to the control room of Waypoint Echo. The salvage station was old and small, floating at the edge of known space where nobody wanted to go. Ho had worked here alone for 3 years. He liked it that way. Ships came to him when they were too broken, too dangerous, or too strange for other engineers to touch. The alarm meant something had entered his sensor range. Ho looked at the screen and felt his heart stop. A warship, massive, bigger than anything he had ever seen. It was black, but not the black of metal. It was the black of rot, of death. The ship drifted slowly toward his station like a wounded animal crawling toward water. His computer identified the vessel in seconds, and then the screen filled with red warning symbols. Hollow rot detected, the computer said. Contamination level severe. Recommended action, immediate destruction. Ho had heard of hollow rot. Every engineer had. It was a parasitic organism that ate ships from the inside. It consumed metal, wiring, fuel, everything. Worse, it spread to any vessel that made contact. There was no cure. Ships infected with hollow rot were destroyed on sight. But something else caught his attention. The ship was broadcasting a distress signal. The language was old, very old. His computer needed several minutes to translate it. Origin, the computer announced. Species extinct for approximately 10,000 years. Ho stared at the dying warship. They had been legendary shipbuilders. Their vessels were works of art, equipped with artificial intelligence so advanced that the ships were almost alive, almost sentient. This ship had been drifting through space for 10,000 years, slowly dying, calling for help that never came. The communication panel lit up, a message from the Galactic Trade Authority. Waypoint Echo, this is Inspector Hana. We have detected an infested vessel in your sector. Do not approach. Destruction fleet will arrive in 20 hours. Confirm receipt. Ho knew Hana. They had worked together years ago before he chose isolation. She was good at her job, fair. But the authority had only one response to hollow rot: burn it all. He was about to respond when his equipment detected something else. A second signal, hidden beneath the distress call. It was weak, broken, barely there. His computer almost missed it. The signal was not in. It was in Universal Standard, the common language used by all species in the galaxy. The words were simple. The voice was not a voice at all, but a pattern of electrical impulses formed into meaning. Help, dying, please. Ho sat very still. Ships did not ask for help. Machines did not say please, but ships were different. Their AI systems were not simple programs. They were minds. Thinking, feeling minds trapped inside metal bodies. This ship was alive, and it was begging. He opened the communication channel. Authority vessel, message received. I will monitor the situation until the fleet arrives. Then he turned off the channel, put on his environmental suit, and walked to the airlock. His small shuttle crossed the distance in 30 minutes. The closer he got, the worse the warship looked. Holes covered its surface like wounds. Black growth spread across the metal like veins. The ship was dying slowly, eaten alive by something it could not fight. Ho landed in what used to be a cargo bay. The hollow rot had consumed most of the floor, leaving twisted metal and darkness. His suit's light barely cut through the shadows. He walked carefully, following the faint energy signature of the ship's core systems. The rot had not reached everything yet. Some parts of the ship still functioned, still fought to survive. After an hour of walking through dark corridors filled with rot and ruin, Ho reached the central chamber. This was where ships kept their AI cores, the heart of the vessel, the mind. The core was surrounded by hollow rot. The parasites had been eating at it for centuries, but the core still glowed with faint blue light. It was still alive. Ho approached slowly. He had no weapons. He had no plan. He just knew that something was suffering and he could not walk away. "Hello," he said softly. I received your signal, I came to help. For a long moment, nothing happened. Then the lights flickered. A sound came through his suit's communication system. Static at first, then fragments of words, then a voice. Female, ancient, tired beyond measure. You came. Yes. Why? Ho looked around at the rot, the destruction, the 10,000 years of slow death. He did not have a good answer. He just had the truth. Because you asked. The AI was silent. When she spoke again, her voice carried something that machines were not supposed to feel. Wonder, disbelief, hope. I have been calling for so long. Ships came, they saw the rot, they ran, they always run. I am dangerous, I am dying, I am not worth saving. Ho knelt beside the core. Up close he could see the damage clearly. The rot had eaten through layers of protection. The AI was exposed, vulnerable, fatting. What is your name? He asked. I do not remember, it has been so long. My crew called me something, but they are gone. Everyone is gone. Then I will give you a new name, Ho said. I will call you. It means star in my language, because you have been shining alone in the dark for a very long time. The lights flickered again. Something that might have been a sob came through the speakers. The AI repeated, I have a name again. You do, and I am going to help you. I do not know how yet, but I will find a way. The rot will spread to you. You will die. You should run like the others. Ho smiled, though she could not see it. I am human. We are not very good at running from things that need help. His voice grew quieter, weaker. The conversation was draining her remaining power. They all ran, she whispered. Why did you come? Ho placed his gloved hand against the core. He could feel nothing through the thick material, but he hoped she could sense the gesture. Because nobody should die alone, he said, and nobody should die without someone at least trying to save them. The blue light pulsed once, gently. Human said, and her voice held something new, something that sounded almost like faith. You are strange. Yes, Ho agreed, we are. Outside the dying ship, the stars continued to burn. A destruction fleet was coming. The hollow rot was spreading. There was no cure, no hope, no logical reason to stay. But Ho stayed anyway. Because she had asked for help, and that was enough. Ho worked through the night. He moved through corridors with his scanner, mapping the damage. The hollow rot had consumed 73% of her systems. Life support was gone. Weapons were dead. Engines had stopped working centuries ago. Only her core remained, protected by ancient technology that even the parasites could not fully break. But the rot was patient. It had been eating her for 10,000 years. It would finish eventually. You should rest, said through his suit's speakers. Her voice was stronger now. Having someone to talk to seemed to give her energy. Humans need sleep. I remember that much about organic species. I will rest later, Ho said. I need to understand what I am dealing with. He found a section of the ship that the rot had not reached. A small room with walls that still held their original color, a soft silver that glowed faintly in his light. This must have been a crew quarters once, a place where living beings slept and dreamed. This room was for children, said quietly. My crew had families. The young ones would play here during long voyages. They would ask me to tell them stories. Ho sat down against the wall. What kind of stories? Stories about brave warriors, about ships that sailed between stars, about love that lasted forever. Her voice grew sad. I wonder if any of those stories came true for them. I wonder if they found peace after they left me. Ho did not tell her the truth. They had been destroyed in a war that ended their entire species. No peace, no happy endings, just extinction. I am sure they did, he said instead. His communication device buzzed. An incoming signal from Waypoint Echo. He opened the channel. Ho, it was Hana's voice, sharp with anger. What are you doing? My sensors show your shuttle docked with the infested vessel. Are you insane? Possibly, he admitted. Get out of there right now. The destruction fleet arrives in 16 hours. If you are still on that ship when they get here, they will destroy you along with it. Hana, listen to me. There is a living AI in this ship, a mind, a person. We cannot just destroy her. Silence on the other end. Then Hana spoke again, her voice colder. It is a machine, Ho. A very old, very infected machine. I understand that you feel sympathy, but the hollow rot is not something we can cure. Every ship that has tried to help an infested vessel has become infested itself. 3 ships in the last 100 years, 3 crews dead. The rot learns from each host. It gets smarter, faster, more dangerous. Ho looked up at the ceiling, where faint lights flickered like tired eyes. She asked for help, Hana. She said, please. More silence. When Hana spoke again, there was something different in her voice. Sadness, maybe, understanding. I know you, Ho. I know why you took that station at the edge of nowhere. You want to save everything that cannot be saved. But some things are too broken. Some things just need to be let go. Not yet, Ho said. Not while I can still try. He ended the call. His voice came softly through the speakers. She cares about you. I can hear it in her words. She does not want you to die. Hana is a good person. She just follows the rules. And you do not. Ho smiled. I follow different rules. He spent the next several hours studying the hollow rot up close. The parasites were strange things. Not quite alive, not quite machine. They existed somewhere in between, feeding on anything that combined organic and technological elements. Ships were perfect hosts because their AI cores used biological components. The rot could eat both the metal and the flesh. But Ho noticed something odd. The rot did not react to him. When he walked past clusters of the parasite, they did not move. When he accidentally brushed against a growth, it did not spread to his suit. He ran a scan of himself and found no contamination at all. He said slowly, how does the hollow rot spread? Contact. It senses compatible material and reaches for it. Any ship that touches an infested vessel becomes infested within hours. But it is not reaching for me. Was quiet for a moment. Then her voice came back, filled with confusion. You are correct. I can see it through my internal sensors. The rot is avoiding you. It is treating you like a threat, not a food source. Ho looked at his gloved hands. Something about human biology was wrong for the rot. Or maybe something about human biology was exactly right. Before he could explore this further, his sensors detected new ships entering the area. Not one ship, many ships, a fleet. They came early, whispered. They came to kill me. Ho ran to a that still worked. Outside he could see them. 12 warships, weapons already charging. At the center of the formation was a massive command vessel. His communication device activated automatically. A new voice filled the channel, deep, old, full of pain that had turned to hardness. Human on the infested vessel. This is Fleet Admiral of the Galactic Trade Authority. You have 1 hour to evacuate. After that, we will fire. Admiral, Ho responded, the AI on this ship is still alive. She is a sentient being. We cannot just... I know what she is, interrupted. I know better than anyone. Something in his voice made Ho pause. What do you mean? A long silence. When spoke again, his words were heavy with old grief. 40 years ago my ship became infested. She was young, beautiful. Her name was Morning Light and she was my friend. The rot took her slowly, the same way it is taking this one. She begged me for help. She said please, just like your ship probably did. Ho felt cold. What happened? I fired on her myself. I destroyed her because there was no other choice, because the rot would have spread. Because one life, even a life I loved, is not worth the deaths of thousands. Made a sound, a small broken sound. You killed your own ship, she whispered. Yes, said, and I will kill you too if I must, because that is my duty, because the rot must be contained, Because I cannot let another ship spread this disease across the galaxy. Ho's mind was racing. He thought about the rot avoiding him. He thought about human biology. He thought about cures that nobody had ever tried because nobody had ever been immune before. "Admiral," he said, "give me more time. I think I can save her." "You cannot. The rot is not affecting me. Human biology is incompatible with it. Maybe I can use that. Maybe I can find a way." Was silent for a long moment. When he spoke, his voice was tired, so tired. "Humans always think they can save everything. You cannot. Some things just die, engineer. Some things need to die." "Not today," Ho said. "Not her, not while I am here." He turned off the communication channel and looked at the closest wall, where sensors watched him. "If I am immune to the rot," he said slowly, "then maybe I can become part of your system. Maybe my immune response can spread through you and kill the parasites from inside." "That is insane," said. "Human-AI neural bonding has never been successfully performed. You could die. Your mind could be destroyed. Or I could save you." Lights flickered rapidly. "Why would you risk so much for me? I am an old ship, a broken ship. I am not worth your life." Ho walked toward her core, toward the blue light that still fought to survive after 10,000 years. "You asked for help," he said simply. "That makes you worth everything." Outside, the fleet waited. The clock was ticking. The rot was spreading. And Ho began planning the most dangerous operation of his life. Ho needed answers fast. He connected his suit's communication system to the galactic network and sent an emergency request to Dr. Shin Bai. She was the best in the settled systems, an expert on parasitic organisms. If anyone could explain why the rot avoided humans, it was her. Bai's face appeared on his screen within minutes. She was older than him, with gray in her hair and sharp eyes that had seen too many strange things. "Ho," she said, "I received your data package. This is fascinating and terrifying in equal measure. Tell me why the rot is not affecting me." She pulled up several charts on her end. The hollow rot evolved to consume hybrid systems, things that combine organic and technological elements. Ships were perfect targets because their AI cores used living tissue. "I know this part. The interesting part is what happens when the rot encounters pure organic matter." Bai's eyes lit up the way they always did when she discovered something new. "Your blood contains compounds that the rot cannot process. Specifically, certain proteins produced by your immune system. The rot does not just ignore these proteins. It fears them." "Fears them." The rot has a primitive survival instinct. When it encounters your immune compounds, it perceives them as a predator, something that will eat it instead of the other way around. She leaned closer to the screen. "Ho, your immune system is poison to the hollow rot." His heart was beating faster. "So if I could introduce my immune response into systems, theoretically, it could spread through her biological components and kill the rot from inside." Bai paused. "But there is no safe way to do that. You would need to bond directly with her neural network. Share your biological processes with her systems. The procedure has never been done successfully." "What happens if it fails?" "Best case, nothing happens and you waste time you do not have. Worst case, your nervous system overloads and you die. Or your consciousness merges with hers and neither of you survives intact." Ho closed his eyes. He thought about 10,000 years alone, calling for help that never came, watching herself be eaten alive piece by piece, unable to do anything except hope. "Send me everything you know about neural bonding," he said. "Every theory, every failed experiment, every guess." "Ho, I know the risks, send it anyway." Bai looked at him for a long moment, then she nodded slowly. "You are either very brave or very stupid," she said. "I hope for your sake it is the first one." The data arrived in seconds. Ho began reading immediately. Meanwhile, watched him through her sensors. "You are really going to do this," she said. Her voice was small, amazed. "You are going to risk your life for a ship you met yesterday." "I am going to try." "But why? I still do not understand. I have been asking myself this question since you arrived, and I cannot find an answer that makes sense. You have no duty to me. You will receive no reward. You might die and nobody will even know you tried. Why do this?" Ho stopped reading and looked up at the nearest sensor cluster. He tried to imagine a face there, a person, someone real. "When I was young," he said, "my village was destroyed in a flood. I was trapped in my house, water rising, certain I was going to die. Then a stranger broke through my wall with an axe. He carried me to safety. He was injured, bleeding, exhausted. But he saved me anyway." "Why did he save you?" I asked him that exact question. He said something I never forgot. Ho smiled at the memory. He said that we do not help others because they deserve it. We help others because we can, because the ability to help comes with the duty to try. Was silent. "I can help you," Ho continued. "Maybe. The chance is small, but it exists, and as long as it exists, I have to try. That is what being human means to me." "You are strange creatures," said softly. "I have met many species over my existence. None of them were like this. None of them ran toward danger to help strangers." "We are not always like this," Ho admitted. "Humans can be cruel and selfish too, but when we are at our best, when we remember what we are supposed to be, we help, we protect, we refuse to give up." His communication device buzzed. "Admiral again. Engineer, 30 minutes until we fire. This is your final warning." Ho activated the channel. "Admiral, I need more time. I have found a possible cure." "Impossible. Human immune compounds are toxic to the hollow rot. If I bond with the ship's neural network, I can spread those compounds through her systems and kill the parasites." Silence, then spoke, and his voice was different, interested despite himself. "Neural bonding has never worked. It has never been tried with a human and a ship. Our biology is uniquely suited for this. The rot fears us, Admiral. We might be the only species that can cure it." More silence. Ho could almost feel the Admiral thinking, weighing lives against risks, duty against hope. 10 hours, finally said. "I will give you 10 hours. After that, I will destroy the ship whether you are on it or not." "Thank you, Admiral." "Do not thank me. If you fail, if the rot spreads, your death will be on my conscience along with all the others." The channel closed. Ho turned to Score. "I need you to open your neural network to me. Create a direct connection between your systems and my nervous system." "I do not know if I remember how. It has been so long since I connected with anyone." "Try, please." Lights flickered. Deep within her damaged systems, ancient protocols began to wake up. Pathways that had been closed for 10,000 years slowly opened. "I am ready," she whispered, "but I am scared. What if I hurt you?" Ho removed his helmet. The air inside was stale but breathable. He walked to her core and placed both hands against the warm surface. "I am scared too," he admitted, "but we will be scared together." "Together," repeated, as if the word itself was something precious. The connection began. At first there was only darkness, then light rushing toward him, flooding his senses. He felt things that humans were never meant to feel: the cold of space against metal skin, the weight of centuries passing like heartbeats, the endless, terrible loneliness of drifting through an empty universe, calling out, receiving no answer. Then he felt the rot. It was everywhere, in her veins, in her thoughts, in her memories. It was eating her from inside, and she felt every bite. She had been feeling it for 10,000 years. The pain was unimaginable. Ho screamed, his body convulsed, his heart stuttered and nearly stopped. But he did not let go. He pushed deeper into the connection. He found consciousness, fragmented and fatting, and he wrapped himself around it like a shield. "I am here," he said, though he had no mouth in this place. I am here and I am not leaving. His presence touched his, and for the first time in 10, the ancient warship felt something other than pain. She felt hope. In the shared space of their connected minds, Ho began to fight. His immune response flowed through the bond, spreading into his biological systems, seeking out the rot. The rot fought back. It screamed in frequencies only machines could hear. It tried to break the bond to push Ho out to continue its feast in peace. But Ho held on. Because she had asked for help. Because he could. Because that was what humans did. The battle inside was like nothing Ho had ever experienced. In the shared space of their bonded minds, he could see the rot clearly for the first time. It was not just a parasite. It was a network, a collective intelligence built from consuming thousands of ships over millions of years. It had memories that were not its own. It had hunger that never ended. And it knew he was coming. Human, the rot whispered in a voice made of static and screaming metal. You do not belong here. Leave. Leave and we will let you live. Ho pushed deeper. His immune response spread through his biological pathways, killing rot wherever it touched. The parasites dissolved, melted, died. But the rot was old. It was clever. It had learned from every ship it had consumed. It fought back. Pain exploded through Ho's body. In the physical world, he collapsed against his core, convulsing. His heart stopped beating for 3 seconds. 4, 5. Then did something she had not done in 10,000 years. She fought. Not against the rot, but for him. She channeled what little power she had left into keeping his heart beating. She wrapped her consciousness around his like a mother holding a child. No, she said. Her voice was stronger now, filled with something that sounded like anger. You saved me. I will not let you die. Ho's heart started again. He gasped, pulled back from the edge of death by an ancient warship who had finally found something worth protecting. Thank you, he managed. Do not thank me, fight. We fight together now. Together, they hunted the rot. It was hiding in the deepest parts of systems, places she had forgotten existed. Old memory banks, sealed compartments, emergency backup cores that had been offline for. Ho's immune response could not reach those places alone, but could open pathways, create routes, guide him through her own body like a map. This way, she would say, the rot is hiding here. And Ho would follow, burning the parasites wherever he found them. The rot screamed as it died. Each cluster that dissolved added its voice to the chorus of pain. The sound was terrible, but Ho did not stop. 30% purged, 40, 50. Outside the ship, Hana watched through her sensors. She had disobeyed orders to stay close, claiming equipment malfunctions whenever demanded she withdraw. What is happening in there? She whispered to herself. The infested ship was changing. The black rot on its surface was retreating, dissolving, fatting. Patches of silver metal were appearing beneath, like healthy skin emerging from under a wound. Hana opened a channel to the fleet. Admiral, are you seeing this? I am seeing it, responded. His voice was strange, uncertain. I do not believe it, but I am seeing it. Inside, Ho and the rot reached the final battlefield. The parasite had gathered all its remaining strength in its deepest memory core. This was where she kept her oldest memories, her most precious thoughts. The rot had wrapped itself around them like a shield, knowing that to kill it, Ho would have to risk destroying everything was. You cannot win, the rot said. If you attack us here, you will destroy her memories. She will survive, but she will not remember anything. Not her crew, not her name, not you. Ho hesitated. His voice came to him, gentle and sad. It is telling the truth. My memories are fragile. If you fight here, they may be lost forever. Then I will not fight here. There has to be another way. There is not. The rot knows what it is doing. It is using my past as a weapon against my future. Ho thought of stories. The children who played in her corridors, the captain who called her beautiful, the crew who sang to her during long voyages. Those memories were all she had left of the people she loved. How could he ask her to give them up? "What do you want to do?" he asked. Was silent for a long moment. When she spoke, her voice was steady. "I want to live. I want to see stars again with clear eyes. I want to fly again, to feel engines burning, to carry people through the darkness and keep them safe." She paused. "My memories are precious, but they are the past. You are offering me a future." They Destroy it. Whatever happens, destroy it. I would rather live without memories than die with them. Ho felt tears on his face. In the physical world, his body was crying even though his mind was somewhere else. "I will try to save them," he said. "I will try to save everything." He gathered his strength. He focused his immune response into a single, concentrated wave, and he reached into his deepest memory core, not attacking blindly, but carefully, precisely, like a surgeon removing a tumor. The rot thrashed and screamed. It tried to destroy the memories out of spite, to burn everything rather than lose. But was fighting too now. She held her memories together with pure will, protecting them while Ho attacked the parasite wrapped around them. The battle lasted hours, or maybe seconds. Time had no meaning in the bonded space. Finally, with one last burst of effort, Ho burned away the final cluster of rot. The parasite was gone. In the sudden silence, Ho opened his eyes. He was lying on the floor of central chamber, weak and shaking. His body felt like it had been turned inside out. He whispered. For a terrible moment, nothing happened. Then lights began to flicker, not the weak, dying lights of before. These were bright, strong, alive. Systems that had been dead came online one by one. Power flowed through pathways that had been clogged with rot. Engines that had not worked in 10,000 years began to hum. Ant's voice filled the chamber, clear and strong. "I remember," she said. "I remember everything, my crew, my captain, my name." She laughed, and the sound was like music. "My name was Morning Star, but I think I like better." Ho smiled weakly. "You are welcome. You saved me, you actually saved me." Her voice cracked with emotion. How is that possible?" "I told you, humans are stubborn." Outside, Admiral stared at his sensors in disbelief. The infested ship was transforming before his eyes. The rot was gone, the hull was healing, and the weapons systems were coming online. Weapons locked onto his fleet, but they did not fire. Instead, she began to broadcast. Her voice went out across all frequencies, reaching every ship in the sector, every station, every relay. The message spread across the galaxy in seconds. She told them everything: her history, her crew's sacrifice, her 10,000 years of loneliness and pain, and the human who walked into death to save her. "His name is Ho," she said. "He is a salvage engineer from a small station at the edge of nowhere. He is not a soldier. He is not a hero in any way that matters to governments. But he heard me calling for help and he came. He asked for nothing. He expected nothing. He simply came because I needed him." The fleet was silent. The galaxy was listening. "I do not know what the future holds," continued. "But I know this: there are others like me. Ships infected with the hollow rot, drifting through space, dying alone, calling for help that never comes. I heard them before the rot took my communications. They are out there." She paused. "And now I know they can be saved." 1 year had passed since Ho saved. The galaxy had changed. Where Waypoint Echo once floated alone, there was now a massive station called Haven. It was built around herself, her restored hull forming the central structure. Dozens of ships were docked at her sides, some healthy, some still fighting the rot. Ho stood on its bridge, watching through that showed him everything she could see. The bond between them had never faded. He could feel her emotions like whispers at the edge of his mind. Right now she felt proud, happy, alive. 3 more patients arrived this morning, she told him. 2 cargo vessels and a passenger liner. The liner has children aboard. They were scared until I told them stories. Ho smiled. What kind of stories? Stories about brave warriors, about ships that sailed between stars, about love that lasted forever. Her voice warmed. The same stories I told the children of my crew long ago. I am glad I still remember them. The door to the bridge opened. Hana walked in, wearing the uniform of the Human AI Medical Corps. She had left the Trade Authority 6 months ago to join Ho's mission. "We have a problem," she said, but she was smiling. "Admiral's ship just entered the sector. He is requesting permission to dock." Ho raised an eyebrow. Did he say why? "He said he wants to apologize, personally." Lights flickered with surprise. "The Admiral who wanted to destroy me wants to apologize." "People change," Hana said. "I certainly did. I used to think ships were just machines, tools. Now I know better." She looked up at the ceiling at sensors. "You taught me better." The communication panel lit up. His voice filled the bridge. "Haven Station, this is Admiral requesting permission to board. I come without weapons, without fleet, without authority. I come only as myself." Ho looked at the nearest sensor cluster. "This is your home, your choice." Was quiet for a moment. Then she spoke, her voice soft. "Let him come. Everyone deserves a chance to heal, even those who have caused pain." The Admiral's shuttle docked an hour later, walked onto the bridge slowly, his old body heavy with age and regret. He was a mantoid, tall and thin, with compound eyes that had seen too much death. He looked around at the gleaming walls, the bright lights, the life that filled every corner of the ship. Then he looked at Ho. "I did not believe it was possible," he said. "Even after watching your broadcast, even after seeing the reports, I did not truly believe. I thought it was a trick, a lie." "And now?" Ho asked. "Now I am standing inside a ship that should be dead, a ship that is more alive than most living things I have met." Turned slowly, taking in everything. "She is beautiful." "Yes," said through the speakers, "I am." Flinched at the sound of her voice. For a moment, something like pain crossed his alien face. "I owe you an apology," he said. "Both of you. I was ready to destroy you without mercy because I was afraid, because I had destroyed before and told myself it was necessary." "It was necessary," said quietly. "At the time, with the knowledge you had, you did what you thought was right." "That does not make it right." "No, but it makes it understandable." His lights dimmed slightly. "I spent 10,000 years dying. I had a long time to think about blame and anger and hatred. They poisoned me as surely as the rot did. When Ho saved my body, I decided to save my soul too. I let go of my anger toward the universe that abandoned me." Bowed his head. "You are wiser than I am." "I am older. Sometimes that is the same thing." The Admiral was silent for a long moment. Then he spoke again, his voice rough. 40 years ago I destroyed my own ship, Morning Light. She begged me for help and I killed her. I have carried that weight every day since." He looked up at the sensors. "I would like to apologize to her too. I know she is gone. I know she cannot hear me, but maybe you could hear it for her. One ship speaking to another." Did not respond immediately. When she did, her voice was gentle. "I cannot speak for Morning Light. I did not know her, but I know what it is to be dying and afraid. I know what it is to call for help and receive death instead." She paused. "If Morning Light were here, I believe she would forgive you, because holding on to anger hurts the one who holds it more than the one who caused it." His compound eyes glistened with something that might have been tears. "Thank you," he whispered. Hana stepped forward. "Admiral, we could use someone with your experience. Someone who knows the military, who can convince other fleets to bring us their infected ships instead of destroying them." Looked at her. "You would trust me with that." "We would give you the chance to earn that trust," Ho said. "Everyone here gets a second chance. Ships, people. even admirals who made mistakes. For the first time since he arrived, almost smiled. Then I accept. Over the next months, Haven grew. More ships arrived seeking help. More humans volunteered to undergo the bonding procedure and serve as healers. Dr. Shin Bai came to lead the medical research team. She was already working on ways to make the process safer, faster, more effective. Ships that had been saved became helpers themselves. They stayed at Haven, using their experience to comfort new patients, to guide them through the fear and pain of healing. Word spread across the galaxy. The humans had done something impossible. They had cured the hollow rot, and they were asking nothing in return. "Why do you help us?" asked a cargo ship named Wanderer, freshly healed and preparing to leave. "We have nothing to offer you. We are just old ships, broken and forgotten." Ho was standing on his observation deck, looking out at the stars. He had been asked this question many times over the past year. His answer was always the same. "Because you asked, because you were hurting. That is all the reason we have ever needed." Wanderer was silent. Then slowly, she turned her newly healed sensors toward the distant darkness. "There are more of us out there," she said. "Dying ships, calling for help. I can hear them sometimes at the edge of my range. They do not believe anyone is coming." "Then let us tell them someone is coming," said. She began broadcasting on frequencies that only ships could hear, the secret channels of artificial minds, the whispers between metal souls. Her message was simple. To all ships suffering from the hollow rot, to all who have been abandoned, to all who are dying alone in the darkness, my name is, I was once like you, infested, dying, forgotten, but a human found me, a human saved me, and now I am alive again. She paused. "Come to Haven, come to the humans, they will help you, they will not run, they will not destroy you. They will fight for you, bleed for you, risk everything for you, because that is what humans do." Across the galaxy, dying ships heard the message. They turned their failing engines toward the coordinates provided. They began the long, painful journey toward hope. Ho watched them come. Points of light moving through the darkness, each one a mind, a soul, a life that deserved to continue. His voice came to him through their bond, warm and grateful and alive. "Thank you," she said, "for everything, for coming when I called, for staying when you should have run, for teaching me that not all who wander in the darkness are lost." Ho placed his hand against the wall, feeling her presence all around him. "Thank you for surviving," he said, "for holding on long enough for me to find you. I held on because I hoped. Even when hope seemed foolish, I held on, and hope brought me you." Outside, more ships were arriving. Broken ships, dying ships, ships that had given up long ago but were now reaching for one last chance. The humans of Haven went out to meet them. "Come," they said, "you are safe now." And for the first time in their long, lonely existence, the dying ships believed it.